And I actually had City down to win 3-1, to tell you the truth. But
could have been anything.
Yeah. I mean, that was some level of performance,
They were
wasn't
so
it?
superior. And I suppose we'll get stuck into it this morning about why United can't. What I couldn't understand more than anything, Ali, listen, getting beat by City, I'm afraid you have to accept that every now and again, if they rock up and they're at their unbelievable best, they can beat anybody. Anyone at any time.
However, you're looking for a level of competitiveness. You're looking for a level of competition, which I don't think we saw yesterday. Would that be fair?
100%. The one thing that really shocked me was how United couldn't get across the ground anything like the rate of knots that City were, to try and deny them, to try and stop them, to try and impose themselves against them. Whenever any Sunday morning player, whenever they turn up to play a team, right, lads, we're playing against a team at the top of the league today, you know that you've got to impose your will against them, or you've got to do something to stop them. Nothing from United, nothing. First 5 minutes, first 10 minutes, they looked. I thought, all right, something might happen here, but after that, my goodness, it was so easy for City.
I didn't see that. Was Cara and Gary having a wee go at each other?
They were having a little bit of a pop, and I get what Cara's saying. After the game, Cara was saying, what is he trying to do, Ten Hag? Where's the... Nowadays, we have this word identity, don't we? It's become like the buzzword now. You've got to have an identity as a coach. But to be fair to Postecoglou and to be fair to others, they've rock up and you can see
what they're trying to do.
They're trying to do. With Ten Hag, what Jamie's point was, what is it? I don't get it. I don't see it. I'm not seeing anything happening since he's been here, really, in terms of that identity. Well, and again, forget that, Ali. Push the identity bit to one side at the moment. You can. Klopp's Liverpool, the reason why they got to where they did against City, for me, mate, is because not only did they play with great intensity coupled with some great players, but there's almost like a ferocity about what they were doing.
100%. Do you know what they did? And it looked to me what they were capable of doing. They matched their physicality. When I say physicality, I mean pace, I mean strength, I mean movement. I don't mean raw aggression. I don't mean that. But they matched their energy levels,
mate, and probably then
might have exceeded them. Yes,
went beyond.
Yes,
them.
Agreed.
Because nobody can stop and match City the way that they play. They play the game so cleverly, so beautifully, so. It's almost like robotic stuff, isn't it? They're so good in possession and they're so clever the way they manipulate, move the ball and positionally incredibly intelligent footballers. But what you can match them for is that absolute like attitude and desire to want to get close and make a fist of the game, like the old FA Cup ties used to be.
Yeah.
You used to go and play a team from a division below you, away from home.
You knew you were in a game.
And you think to yourself, I'll tell you what, today, boys, by the way, if we don't get right going here, it's going to be a tricky one. We could get embarrassed here. So you had to deal with that and cope with that. But I'm thinking, come on, United, at some point, when are you going to really come and collectively, properly get close to this lot and have a real go? Didn't happen.
I'll tell you what, we've got 03717 22 3344. That is the number that you have to call this morning. And at 9 minutes past 6, John, the Manchester City fan, has just done that. John, a very good morning, mate. I bet you're buzzing this morning.
Standard, lads. Standard.
It was a proper performance, though, to be fair, John, no?
Ali, I speak to you quite regularly. And what I'm going to say here might be a little bit controversial. Standard of refereeing. So if Rasmus Højlund has fouled Rodrigo, what has Harry Maguire done, sir?
I tell you what, John.
That was a penalty times 2. Come on, lads.
Absolutely spot on. I mean,
Not
that
wrong.
was ridiculous. I've never seen nothing like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know, John? The idea with these players, John, when you mark someone, right, in a situation where a ball's about to be whipped in and you're marking someone, the idea is, if you put your hands on them, Ali, or if you grab a bit of a shirt, I've said this before, you got to grab it and you got to let it go pretty quick. You can't keep your arm there. You can't keep your hand there. You can't continue to tug the shirt. Otherwise, you're going to Harry Maguire stuck his arm. It was like he was
Yeah.
saying goodbye to a
Absolutely.
long-lost friend.
Particularly nowadays with VAR and cameras everywhere, you've got absolutely no chance of getting out. I mean, 20 years ago, don't get me wrong, it was a done thing.
Yeah.
Not you were getting blocked, you were getting pulled, you were getting pushed, the whole bit. But nowadays, rightly, with cameras and VAR, they've got nowhere to go. You're spot on, John.
But listen to this bit. The commentary said, "Oh, Harry Maguire knew when to let go of him." Eh?
What?
Really? That was.
He's still got hold of him now.
Whoever was on commentary, please stand them down next week. That was embarrassing, right? But the thing was, man of the match, Anana. He pulled off 4 or 5, right? So without being an exaggeration, that could have been conceivably 6 or 7. It was conceivably 6 or 7. The difference, the golfing class. Like I said to you the other week, lads, when we do the To Me To You, the Juckle Brothers bit in the middle of the park, when it was popping it, when we was popping it off, you see John Stones just stepping in, Rodrigo, bang, 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 little triangles, absolutely fantastic. But City didn't even really, in that second half, get out of third gear, lads. They had extra gears to go through.
I agree.
And the petulance of both Bruno Fernandes and Anthony. Wow.
Well, and again,
wow.
that's
My last point, boys.
Yep.
The fire drill at the end, and they say we have empty hand. Empty hand. It was empty. It was 3-0 and it was empty. Fantastic.
John, just a quick one. I'm not wanting to spoil your Monday morning, but is Big Ange and Spurs concerning you at all?
Not even, lads. Not even. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Spurs have done over and above the expectation. They lost their leading goal scorer, the talisman, Harry Kane. It's a big ask, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Big Ange has come in there. He's accepted the fact that possibly before he's become the incumbent in the manager's seat, potentially he's going to lose 30, 20, 25 goals a season, yeah?
Yeah.
And he's got to deal with that. That's a big ask. That's a big lot of pressure because Spurs are a big club.
Yeah.
You know, the stadium speaks for itself. The fan base is there. They've lost Harry Kane. So I wasn't expecting them to hit the straps like they have done. But in all fairness, when it comes deep into... We'll see on January the 1st when the table sort of starts levelling itself out a little bit. I think Spurs will challenge the top 4, but I don't think they'll win the league. I really don't. I don't think if a couple of injuries kick in, they've got problems, I think. I don't think the squad's deep enough.
All right, John. Listen, mate, we're going to shoot. Brilliant call. Thanks for that.
Thank you, John.
Really appreciate it. We've got Steve, another City fan. Steve, good morning. How are you this morning?
Absolutely. Top of the moon, man. Top of the moon. Top of the quality.
By the way, Steve, I don't want to pull anybody up at 13 minutes past 6, but it's top of the world and over the moon.
Absolutely.
You're both of them by the sounds of things.
Hey, you know what? United, absolutely rudderless. If Fernandes, a little, whatever he is, if he's their lead, they are seriously in trouble. That's their captain. They've finished them.
Steve, the signal's not great, mate. You have a brilliant mount. They're going to have a great Monday roast too, and it's Steve and John.
Oh.
Imagine being in the office with them this morning.
they're going to be marching. When they get out of it, they're going to slam the car door.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.